foreign investors expand production in Vietnam. And later on, let's take a look at the new style rural development linked to sustainable poverty reduction.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trần with the top stories. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính inspected progress and addressed challenges at major transportation infrastructure projects in Quảng Ngãi province. More to follow.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính inspected the Quảng Ngãi-Hoi Ninh segment of the North-South Expressway project, a nearly 90-kilometer stretch through Bình Định province. He praised the contractors, including Theo Group, for working 3 shifts around the clock, even during holidays, and implementing innovative solutions that put the project 7 months ahead of schedule. The Prime Minister urged local authorities to coordinate closely with contractors to ensure the entire route becomes operational this year.
The Prime Minister then surveyed the construction of the 125-kilometer Dung Quất Sa Huỳnh Coastal Road in Quảng Ngãi province. He highlighted the route's significance in unlocking development opportunities for Quảng Ngãi pristine coastal region with high potential. He directed local authorities to focus their resources on expediting the project's completion while avoiding scattered investments.
During an inspection of the province's housing improvement initiative, the Prime Minister visited families who had received new homes through the program. He praised Quảng Ngãi progress in building over 2,100 houses for policy beneficiaries and poor families. However, with more than 4,500 families still living in inadequate housing, he called on the province to develop creative solutions and engage all levels of government to accelerate the program, with the goal of completing it nationwide this year.
In January, foreign investors' total registered capital reached $4.3 billion, a 48% increase year-on-year. Additional investment capital hit $2.7 billion, nearly 6 times higher than the same period last year. These figures demonstrate foreign investors' confidence in Vietnam's business environment and their commitment to expanding production.
The second phase of this investor's telecommunications equipment and Wi-Fi transceiver factory is now operational, doubling its production capacity.
Hanoi Province is a key hub for supply chain enterprises in northern Vietnam, providing a strong advantage for expanding production. This is why we are considering setting up additional facilities in Kim Bang 1 Industrial Park.
With over 3,400 hectares, 8 out of 12 industrial parks in Hanoi have been rapidly upgraded, achieving an occupancy rate of 70% to 100%.
First, we must develop synchronized industrial park infrastructure. Notably, we are allocating public investment funds to build social housing, creating a magnet for high-quality labor, which in turn attracts foreign investors.
Well-developed infrastructure is a key advantage of industrial hubs like Bắc Ninh, Thái Nguyên, and Bắc Giang. Last year, existing foreign investors added nearly $14 billion in capital, a 50% increase.
If you look at what kind of activities are eager to come to Vietnam, I believe green energy projects, I believe high-tech assembly projects, and I believe also automotive are still doing well.
The EU-Vietnam Business Environment Index rose significantly from 46.3 to 61.8 in 1 year, highlighting Vietnam's strengths in infrastructure and logistics. However, to deepen foreign investment, the country needs stronger investment policies and a more sustainable supply chain, one that includes greater participation from Vietnamese enterprises.
Vietnam's fruit and vegetable exports fell by 5.2% in January compared to the same period last year. mainly due to stricter quality control regulations in importing countries. For the agricultural sector, establishing a clear roadmap to adapt to global standards must be a priority before the upcoming harvest season of key agricultural products.
Nearly 1,000 tons of durian were cleared for export to China after a month-long disruption due to new regulations on cadmium and auramine O testing. This highlights how a single tightening of quality control measures by an importing country can impact the entire fruit and vegetable industry.
Businesses have been slow to respond to market requirements, finding it challenging to adapt to and understand new regulations. These barriers have led to a significant short-term decline in exports.
Other major markets are also tightening their import standards. The U.S. has banned 7 pesticide residues and now requires plantation and packaging codes from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. In Europe, pesticide residue inspections on various fruits have doubled from 10% to 20%.
The global trend is shifting towards safer products for health, making stricter quality control inevitable. WTO statistics have confirmed this trend. Therefore, adaptation is necessary. Once we commit internationally, we must comply.
Without proactive and timely efforts to overcome inspection challenges, achieving this year's $8 billion USD fruit and vegetable export target will be difficult.
Regulatory and plant protection agencies need stricter local supervision. Shipments that fail to meet standards should not be exported to prevent damage to the reputation of Vietnamese agricultural products.
Currently, the Plant Protection Department under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is working to expand recognition of certified pesticide residue testing laboratories across provinces through negotiations with importing countries. This initiative will help businesses and localities build their capacity to meet increasingly strict technical requirements in export markets.
Several localities are ramping up labor recruitment in February, particularly industrial zones, which are hiring large numbers of workers. In Ho Chi Minh City, businesses are aiming for a more than 10% increase in exports compared to last year, leading to an early year hiring push to meet demand. In Nghệ An, a job fair at the VTV Industrial Park attracted 24 companies, offering over 42,000 job opportunities, including more than 36,000 positions for unskilled workers and 4,000 for trained professionals. Similarly, businesses in Bình Dương are looking to hire approximately 38,000 workers as they expand production due to increased orders. In Quảng Ngãi, local enterprises are also seeking to recruit around 10,000 workers. Now moving on to other news, 4 crew members aboard a Taiwanese-China fishing vessel were rescued by the Phie Provincial Border Guard after their vessel was found drifting off the coast of Đông Hoa Town. After being brought safely ashore, the crew members received health checkups and temporary accommodations. Authorities arranged for interpreters to gather initial information from the sailors. The Central Highlands, home to a large ethnic population, has long been a focus of the party and state's efforts toward new-style rural development and sustainable poverty reduction. In Đắk Nông province, these efforts emphasize innovative, demand-driven solutions that build on local strengths. The province integrates resources from national target programs to reduce poverty rates and also boost household incomes.
As part of meeting Criterion 13 on production organization in the New Style Rural Development Program, the Đắk Nông Provincial People's Committee has made establishing cooperatives and cooperative groups a priority.
By joining the cooperative, I gained access to advanced techniques which improved the quality of our coffee. Our family income has risen substantially thanks to better purchase prices compared to the market.
Currently, 40 out of 60 communes in Dak Nong have achieved new-style rural standards. The province actively promotes vocational training and job creation for rural workers.
Since last year, the district has implemented 35 development models, distributing over 600 hybrid breeding cows, along with F1 hybrid wild boars and goats to local farmers. After 2 years, the project has helped reduce poverty by 12–15% among participating households.
Moving forward, Dak Nong Province will focus on sustainable poverty reduction, ensuring concentrated, efficient resource allocation while prioritizing livelihood support for low-income households.
With practical central government support and well-coordinated local initiatives, the province has achieved significant progress in the New Style Rural Development Program. When Dak Nong was established in 2004, the poverty rate exceeded 66%. Today, it has dropped to just 5.18%.
This year, Hanoi has nearly 4,500 new recruits joining the Army, with an 11% increase in volunteer enlistments compared to last year. Driven by their desire to serve and receive military training, many young people have stepped forward to fulfill the noble and sacred duty of protecting their homeland.
Setting aside their personal plans, these two men both volunteered to join the Army in the upcoming recruitment. They saw this as an opportunity to demonstrate their maturity and fulfill their duty to the country.
This is a sacred mission. When I got a conscription notice, I wanted to go right away.
I don't have a girlfriend yet, so I can comfortably leave for a long time. There are only 2 of us in the family, so we go at the same time and come back together.
We happily encouraged our 2 children to join the Army. They were a bit introverted at home and hoped that the military environment would help them change and become more active.
Many young people volunteer to join the Army right after finishing school. Having grown up in a family with a revolutionary tradition, Juan felt determined to fulfill his duty to the country when he received his call-up notice.
My grandfather is a military officer, and I want to be like him. I want to inspire volunteerism among local youth. Military service is both a responsibility and an obligation. I hope that the military environment will help me grow as a person.
To date, 88 citizens have volunteered to join the Army, and 22 have volunteered to join the police. The units have distributed personal belongings and visited the recruits to encourage them as they prepare for military service.
These young volunteers join the Army with determination, bringing their ambitions and dreams to serve in the most meaningful way. Each application reflects the youth's spirit and sense of responsibility in their desire to build and defend the fatherland.
The Bắc Giang Tourism and Culture Week, along with the Tây Yên Tử Spring Festival 2025, officially kicked off on Sunday morning with a series of exciting events. The highlight was the ceremonial procession of the Tam Tổ Trúc Lâm ancestral tablets from Vĩnh Nghiêm Pagoda in Bắc Giang City to Hạ Tây Yên Tử Pagoda in Sơn Động District. The opening ceremony featured a special artistic performance titled Sacred Tây Yên Tử, along with a variety of cultural, artistic, and sports activities. This event serves as a cultural and tourism showcase, promoting the province's landscapes, people, and unique heritage values. Now, as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.